My name is Sarah. I have been married for 10 years, and this is my story. My husband's name is Daniel. He used to call me wife. Not my name, just wife. It sounded warm, soft, safe. Wife, where are my keys? Wife, did you eat? Wife, come sit with me. It was a small word, but it made me feel chosen, important. We were not a perfect couple. We had bills to pay. We had normal fights. But we laughed together. We planned together. We dreamed together. At least, I believed we did. Things did not change suddenly. There was no big fight, no loud argument. It started quietly. Daniel began coming home late, not too late, just later than usual. He said work was busy. He said he was tired. I believed him. He stopped sitting near me on the sofa. He stopped asking about my day. He stopped smiling for no reason. But I told myself, marriage changes over time. Maybe this is normal. One evening, his friend Mark visited us. They sat in the living room. They laughed loudly. They talked about college days. They looked happy. I brought them tea. Mark smiled at me. "You're lucky, Daniel," he said. "Your wife is amazing." Daniel smiled, but he said nothing, not even a small thank you. He just changed the topic. That moment felt strange, like something small broke inside me. Later that night, I asked him softly, "Why didn't you say anything?" "About what?" he replied. "When Mark said I was amazing." Daniel shrugged. "It's not a big deal." Then he looked at his phone. Not a big deal. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was too sensitive. Maybe I was overthinking. But a few days later, I noticed something else, something even smaller. He stopped calling me wife. At first, he used my name instead, Sarah, pass the salt. It sounded normal, but it felt different, colder. Then even my name disappeared the bill. Where is my shirt? Turn off the light. No warmth, no softness. No connection. Just instructions. One night I tried to bring it up again. "Do you remember," I asked, "when you used to call me wife?" Daniel looked confused. "Did I?" he said, like he truly forgot. "Yes, you did, every single day. It doesn't matter," he said. "It's just a word. Just a word." But words build love, and words can break it. The following weekend, we went to his sister's house. There was a family dinner. His sister hugged me tightly. "My favorite sister-in-law," she said. I smiled politely. During dinner, someone asked Daniel. He laughed lightly. "It's fine," he said. "That's my partner." Partner, not wife. Not Sarah, just partner. It sounded like business. Like we signed a contract, not like we made vows. I looked at him. He avoided my eyes. He kept eating quietly. On the drive home, the car was silent, very silent. I wanted to speak, but I was scared of the answer. When we reached home, he went straight to the bedroom, no good night. I stayed in the living room, sitting alone, thinking, how does love disappear? Does it shout? Does it fight? Or does it become quiet? That night I lay beside him awake, listening to his breathing, feeling the distance, even though he was next to me. He stopped calling me wife. And somehow that small change felt like the beginning of the end. The silence continued. Days passed, nothing improved. Daniel was polite, but distant, like a stranger renting a room. He still paid the bills, still fixed things in the house, still slept beside me. But emotionally, he was somewhere else. One night, I saw him smiling at his phone. A soft smile. The kind he used to give me. When I entered the room, he quickly locked the screen, too quickly. Something inside me sank. I did not scream. I did not accuse. I waited. The next morning, he left his phone on the table. For the first time in weeks, a message appeared. Her name was Emma. and there was a red heart next to it. My hands froze. I did not open it immediately. I just stared, breathing slowly. "I miss you already," the message said. "Last night felt special. Last night." He told me he was working late. But my face stayed calm, very calm. In that moment, everything made sense. The distance, the cold tone, the missing word. He stopped calling me wife, because he had started calling someone else something sweet. That evening, I cooked dinner as usual. I set the table carefully. When he came home, he looked tired. "Long day?" I asked softly. "Yes," he said. "Very long." I nodded. We ate in silence. After dinner, I looked at him directly, for the first time in weeks. "Daniel," I said calmly. "Who is Emma?" The color left his face. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He just stared at me. "What do you mean?" he finally said. I replied. "Emma with the red heart." Silence, heavy silence. "It's not what you think," he whispered. That sentence again, the most common lie in every broken story. "Then tell me what it is." I said. He looked tired, not guilty, just tired. "She understands me," he said quietly. "Understands you, and I don't?" I asked. He avoided my eyes. "We grew apart, Sarah. We stopped connecting. It just happened." Nothing just happens. Distance is a decision, silence is a choice, replacement is intentional. "You stopped calling me wife," I said calmly. He looked confused. "That's what you're upset about." "No, I'm upset," I said softly, "because you stopped seeing me as your wife." His expression shifted. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. But he did. Not loudly, not violently, but deeply. "I was going to tell you," he added, when I asked. He had no answer. Just like before, I stood up slowly, walked to the bedroom, opened the closet. He followed me. "What are you doing?" I began folding my clothes, one by one, carefully. "You said we grew apart," I replied. "So I'm giving you space." His voice shook. "Don't do this." For the first time, he looked afraid. "I waited," I said calmly. "I waited for honesty." He sat on the edge of the bed, silent, small. "I thought it was just words," he whispered. "Words are never just words." "I stopped being your wife?" I continued softly. "The day you stopped calling me one." Tears filled his eyes. But my tears were gone. I had cried enough in silent nights. Now I felt something different: clarity, peace, strength. The next morning, I packed my last bag. Daniel stood in the doorway, lost, broken. "I love you," he said. Maybe he did. But love without respect is not love. "I loved you too," I replied. "But I deserve to be someone's wife. Not someone's option, not someone's habit, not someone's backup plan." I walked past him, he didn't stop me, and as I reached the door, he finally said it. "Wife, please." I paused, that word again. But now, it felt different. Too late. Because love is not about remembering the word when you are losing the person. It is about protecting it when you still have them. I didn't turn back. I walked out quietly. And this time I chose myself.